Rancherland in Lenox, Alabama. Was it a busy day today or what? Man, there's not enough hours in the day. Don't put any more in there, Lord. I don't want any more. Okay. We're on TikTok, we're on Rumble, on Brighton, on Odyssey, and a whole bunch of channels on YouTube. And you can join us. Find them all at drdino.com. And we have another exciting announcement to make in 26 seconds, I think. Okay. We're an independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating Baptist church. We believe the Bible is true and evolution is stupid. So tonight, comments on comments, March 7th. You can help us to open for free. Join our 777 club if you'd like. Call 855-BIG-DINO. Talk to extension 1. Talk to my wife, Sandra. Okay. She says, I want to do that. drdino.com. We're open for 7.9 years now for free. Don't charge anything. There it is. Genesis Baptist Church. Oh, I got to update that. 27.1 now. Our ministry has had two opportunities before us that God may lay on the heart of one of you to meet the need. If not, we won't do it. Okay. Option one, we can get our own TV channel. We talked to the guy today, and everyone worldwide can get the messages, and they can't censor it. Won't be able to shut our channels off. And translation, where they can click a button and translate any language in the world. Live translation. About $6,000 to do it. And next year, and another 6,000 a year. Joseph, we talked to the guy today. Was our common reaction, we ought to do this if we had the money? That's your third talk with him. It's a Christian guy, loves our ministry, wants to help. So we then would have Kent Hovind TV or something? It'd be an app. Every TV, smart TV, tablet, phone, web. You can get on it from everything. It's one good thing for them, they subscribe once on there, and they can watch it on every. Subscribe once on there and watch it on everything. Anyway, it's a golden opportunity. We can do it. We need $6,000. If you want to help, call Sandra 855-BIG-DINO. Say, I want to get them on TV worldwide. Okay, atheists, you're welcome to help too. Send some money. Okay. Secondly, friend of the ministry has an M60 Kubota tractor, 60 horse, 60,000 brand new. Got very low hours. It's like new. He wants 27,000. We got about $50 saved up for it. So if you want to help with that, that'd be great. Want to invest in the kingdom work? Call 855-BIG-DINO extension 3. That would be me. Okay. Last night I did Whack an Atheist on Clint's reptiles. Well, Clint responded. Clint Laidlaw, Clint's reptiles. I whacked him last night over his errors in logic. And this is what he said. Well, I can now add being the subject of a Kent Hovind Whack an Atheist video to my list of accomplishments. Is that an accomplishment? Is that the kind of thing you can put on your CV? What does he mean by that? Constant velocity joint on your front wheel drive Honda? What's a CV? I don't know. Go ahead and put it on there, Clint. You've been whacked, okay? I pointed out last night, and you did not answer this question at all, Clint, okay? You claimed that I was wrong about claiming that evolution is based on circular reasoning, using the fossils to date the rocks and the rocks to date the fossils. No, Clint, I was not wrong. You were wrong, and you still are wrong, okay? And you're teaching something that's not only wrong, it's stupid. We'll get into that in a minute. Intelligent laymen long suspected circular reasoning of the use of rocks to date fossils and fossils to date rocks. That's how they do it. The geologists never bothered to think of a good reply, feeling the explanations are not worth the trouble as long as the work brings results. Hey, as long as it works, okay. It cannot be denied. From a strictly philosophical standpoint, geologists are arguing in a circle. The succession of organisms has been determined by a study of their remains embedded in the rocks, that would be fossils, and the relative age of the rocks is determined by the organisms. Encyclopedia Britannica, they've known this for 70 years. It is circular reasoning. See, circular reasoning works because circular reasoning works because circular reasoning works. That's what you're doing, Clint. Admit it. Fossils have been and still are the best and most accurate method of dating and correlating the rocks in which they occur. Apart from very modern examples, which are really archaeology, I can think of no cases of radioactive decay being used to date fossils. Radiometric dating would not have been feasible if the geologic column had not been erected first. It's circular reasoning, okay? Just admit it. There's no way to simply look at a fossil and say how old it is unless you know the age of the rocks it comes from. And this poses something of a problem. If we date the rock by the fossils, how can we turn around and talk about patterns of evolutionary change through time in the fossil record? That's right, Niles. Why don't you give it up? It's a dumb religion. Evolution is dumb, real dumb. The rocks do date the fossils, but the fossils date the rocks more accurately. Oh, that's brilliant logic. Really brilliant, okay? Using temporal concepts because circularity is inherent. We have to use circular reasoning. Oh, okay. The charge of circular reasoning can be ignored, can be denied, or just admitted. Why don't you just admit it? It is circular reasoning. Are the authorities maintaining that evolution is documented by geology and that geology is documented by evolution? Isn't this a circular argument? Biologists, help. Let's see, that was a long time ago, 46 years ago. Clint, why don't you help him? Why don't you help Larry Azar and explain how this is not circular reasoning? See, Clint, there is no geologic column. It does not exist. Sorry, doesn't exist. And all you Mormons, Joseph Smith was not a prophet. I'm sorry, he was not a prophet. He was a scoundrel, okay? Not a prophet. You can talk about each religion as a false prophet as their. I got a mole on my cheek, by the way. That's how they know Muhammad was a prophet. He had a mole on his back. Look at that. I got a mole right there. I'm a prophet. Can you tell? Yeah, okay. Layers are not different ages. If the new material, if the top layer is younger, where did it come from? Outer space? Why don't you guys answer that? You say, well, no, that's the age it was deposited. Okay, well, I'm going to take this fossil and deposit it on top of my coffee cup. Now, I know the coffee cup's made out of clay, and I know it was made, this year? Dr. Kent, the science gent? So now this fossil is now brand new this year because it's on top of my coffee cup. That's how dumb the geologic column is. It doesn't exist anywhere. They say trilobites are index fossils. Right. Trilobites are incredibly complicated. The photoreceptors, each little dot on the trilobite's eye, and they got a whole bunch of them, many thousands of them on some, they're each connected to the brain with a little bitty cone, with a little bitty nerve line. Wow. You'd almost think it was designed. But you guys have that one as one of the first animals to ever evolve. The trilobite, 15,000 lenses on one eye. Wow. Maybe it was designed. And the geologic column doesn't exist, Clint. There's layers, petrified trees standing up all over the world, running through all these layers. I went through this the other night. You guys are claiming these layers are different ages, and they're not. All the layers form sideways as the water's going back and forth from the tidal pumping. If the tide's going up, down, it's also going in, out, in, out. You don't think about that. And that's what formed all the layers of the earth in 1 year. And petrified trees standing up. Oh, clearly, the layers are each from a different tide, not a different millions of years. There's no such thing as a geologic column, Clint. I'm sorry. I'm right. You're wrong. And if you want to debate me on that, don't just put comments on your channel. Call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4. Say, Joseph, I want to debate Kent Hovind. Any of you guys commenting on Clint's channel or my channel about Clint's video, call for a live debate, you keyboard warrior. Okay? Sometimes polystrata fossils are upside down, running through the coal layers, like in France. Petrified trees upside down. Wow. All these layers you see in Grand Canyon or anywhere else were all formed in 1 year. They're all the same age. Here's comments on my channel that some of Clint's people put on there. Clint is 1,000,000 times smarter than you will ever be, Justin says. He's an actual biologist. You are not. Well, Justin, who gets to determine that? I taught biology 15 years. I think I know the subject pretty well. Would you like to have a debate with me on on biology? Come on, you brave keyboard warrior. Let's see. He's a theist, not an atheist. He just isn't a science denier. Okay, well, I didn't say he's an atheist. I said at the beginning, I think he believes in God, but he's supporting the atheists with his dumb religion of evolution. He's advancing their religion. So he's certainly an atheist supporter. Anyway, and I'm not a science denier. I love science. He's the science denier. He does not understand that evolution doesn't happen. There is no evidence of any animal ever changing to another kind. Clint isn't an atheist, but okay. Let's see. Canadian. He may not be, however, Kent is correct on the differing points he brought up. I agree. Let's see. But bruh, what's a bruh? That's brother? That's how you spell brother? In Preda, whatever his name. Okay. Bruh. He is not completely, but he completely ignored his points and made up stuff. Stop lying. Kent is not right. Birds are dinosaurs. Justin, I hate to break the news to you. That's really a stupid thing to believe, okay? Really stupid. Birds are not dinosaurs. Birds did not come from dinosaurs. God created the birds before he created the reptiles. Read Genesis chapter 1 and 2, okay? Wow, it's impressive how deep you got your head buried in the sand. I agree. Please tell Clint to get his head out. I agree with that one, okay? Let's see. Regarding the age of the earth, couldn't God in his wisdom have utilized evolution as a mechanism? Slow down here. Alicia, that'd be a retarded God. First, there's no evidence for evolution anyway. So why would we compromise a perfectly good Bible with a dumb theory that has no evidence at all? And what doesn't God know what he wants? Can't he make it right first time? That would be a cruel God who uses suffering and misfits and death and partially formed things. And poor bird got wings and now he can't fly yet, but now you got to drag him around there in the way and he gets eaten by a predator. All the steps between where they are would be harmful to the creature. So I'm sorry, no, God did not do that. Okay, that'd be I wouldn't worship a God like that. Provoking thought. Among other problems, evolution presumes death. Okay, but God made his creation absent of death. Death was a consequence of sin. By Adam, sin entered the world. I agree. Let's see. Evolution doesn't cohere theologically with why, how, and when death exists in the Bible. Man brought death into the world. That said, Hovind is bonkers and a regrettable character. Well, let's see. Provoking thought. Let me provoke a thought with you. You're calling me bonkers and regrettable, a character. Why don't you be specific? Do you have anything specific? Why don't you call for a debate? Okay. I'll take anybody on. I'll defend my position. The Bible is scientifically accurate, historically accurate. God made everything in 6 literal 24-hour days, about 6,000 years ago. The flood formed nearly all the fossils we find and all the layers to the earth. I'll defend that position against anybody, anywhere. Okay. Actual video, if you could call it, begins at 6 minutes, 39 seconds. Why? Who cares about that? Okay. Leisha. Clint's approach to discussing young earth creationism was commendable, respectful, fair, and balanced. He didn't belittle or dismiss opposing views, but presented them thoughtfully, allowing viewers to form their own conclusions. The title, Whack an Atheist, lacks the grace and inclusivity that Christ exemplified. Christ welcomed everyone, extending invitations to lunch, gatherings, and to follow him. I could never imagine Christ directing his followers to go whack an atheist. It's disappointing to see your dismissal without engagement, resorting to name calling instead of constructive dialogue. I'm willing to have constructive dialogue with any of these guys. But let's see, who did this one? Leisha Mortimer. You're wrong, okay? Christ was pretty hard on those who disagreed with him. I'll show you, okay? As a Christian, this portrayal does not reflect our values, and it's disheartening and embarrassing. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but you're wrong. Let's see, Jesus called them, you generation of vipers, you vipers, you vipers, you bunch of snakes. Woo! Didn't he call them a bunch of snakes? Yeah. Let's see. He said, this is the condemnation that light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Woo, he's calling people snakes, calling them evil. He said, you hypocrites, a whole bunch of times. He said, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. Hypocrites. Whoa. What's this? Jesus calling them 20 times. Whoa. He threw the money changers out of the temple, dumped their tables over and kicked them out. You bunch of thieves. Let's see. It's written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. Wow. Why did he call them thieves, hypocrites? Let's see. Verse 55. He said, if yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I know him not, I should be a liar like unto you. A lie. He called them vipers, evil, hypocrites, thieves, liars. I just believe in calling a spade a spade. I'm trying to be like Jesus, okay? Clint, you're wrong, okay? You're either ignorant about the truth of these fossils and the age of them, or you're a liar, okay? And so are those who are supporting you in their comments. Notice the smile, just like Jesus, okay? Okay, anybody else, any comments here? If everything came from a single cell, why aren't there two-celled organisms? Well, they will argue that there are multi-celled organisms, that it's actually just a colony. They all get together. When a bunch of cells get together, like an algae or something, they don't reproduce as one algae mating with another colony mating with another colony. They never. So you cannot call that a multicellular organism. It's a colony working together. All right, that's a good question. There are no two-celled or three-celled organisms. I think Ken should donate some of his cool shirts to me. Brett, sorry, get to get your own. I like my dinosaur shirts. Okay. Okay. Is this the real Kent? Or is it true he died and this is a clone? That hurts bad, Ryan. How do you answer one like that? Okay. Kent, that mole only means a profit to the doctor cutting it off. I've had it all my life. I'm going to leave it right there. Okay. Doesn't bother me. I have to shave it. Little hairs grow out of it. It started growing hairs. I started shaving when I was like 5. That little mole, everybody else started shaving when they're 5. Is that something to be proud of? Yeah. Okay. Could you tell a Tom Malone story? Okay. I went to school at Pontiac, Michigan. Dr. Tom Malone was the pastor at Emmanuel Baptist Church on Telegraph Road. And I heard him preach one time. I was scheduled to go to a different Bible college, and I heard him preach one time. Said, "I'm going to hear that man." And I went, graduated from there, and loved it. Great preacher, Tom Malone. I got some of his books in here. Excellent, old-fashioned, independent, temperamental Baptist preacher. Okay, loved it. Okay, all right. Let's see. Brother Hovind, is there a difference in the way Abraham greeted the Lord God before he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and the way Lot greeted the angels as they entered the city? Never thought about that, Brandon. I don't know. I'll have to look that up sometime. Okay. Can Satan hear our thoughts, or is that just a connection to God? I think that's only a connection to God, but Satan can see how you react to certain things, and he'll do it again. You have some, nudity flash across the screen, and you go, oh, I'll do that to that guy again. He doesn't know your thoughts, but he can tell what they are by your actions. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Do you think Jesus' return is soon? If so, how soon? I don't know for sure when he's coming, but I suspect in the next 5 or 6 years. We shall see. I've often said I think the tribulation started, but it says that we're going to know when it starts when they make a treaty. It does not say we get to see who the Antichrist is. The Antichrist is not revealed until the middle of the 7-year period. In the middle of that 7-year tribulation period, he's revealed when he breaks the treaty. Then the Christians are going to know, oh, that's the Antichrist. But it might have already been made a secret treaty. And when things calm down over there, when they get done fighting Hamas and everybody else, they may actually start building the temple. My guesswork. I don't know. It's up to God. All I know is he told me, get busy, go win souls. I'm going to do my job. Yes, sir. But you take care of the rest of the world. I'm trying to do my job. Okay. So I don't know when he's coming. Why was Jesus so cryptic? But the Father said, I'm your God. I don't think he was cryptic. Many, many times he said, I am the light of the world. I am the good shepherd. I am. By using the phrase, I am, the Jews knew full well he's claiming to be God. Many times he said that. We went through that in our Gospel of John study. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday we do that. Do you think the floodwater bursted through the ground, creating modern-day volcanoes? Well, Jim, I think the floodwater, the fountains of the deep broke open, and I think the earth cracked up like an eggshell, and it is still cracked up. Okay, there are fault lines all over the place. And I think that's probably, most of them are where the earth cracked up during the flood and the water came up from inside the crust of the earth. By the way, there's still an enormous amount of water in the crust of the earth. They think there may be as many as 10 million hydro vents at the bottom of the ocean, where hot water is squirting up into the bottom. Now, hold it. If hot water is squirting up into the bottom, where does it have to be coming from? Down deeper than that. There's still lots of water in the crust. So I think to answer your question, I forgot the question already, brother. Where was it? Oh, I don't know. But yes, I think most of the volcanoes and earthquakes are still to this day along those same lines. Some new ones might have come along since then, Okay, yes, sir, back at the back.
I think that the wussification of Christianity in Christ is a big problem in the Christian community, and I like the way you handled it.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. Wussification of Christianity. Jesus was a man. He overthrew the temples, overthrew the tables, kicked the guys out. Yeah, he was a man. He was kind. I'm kind to people too. But when they make fun of me, if you want to start a verbal fight, I'm ready for it anytime. Okay. And actually, if somebody attacks me, they're going to find out that I know karate, judo, taekwondo, and 7 more Japanese words. Okay. Let's see. I've heard you mention the Ark of the Covenant was found. I was always taught the Ark was in heaven. Revelation. No, your thoughts. Well, I think in heaven they have a copy of everything, the duplicate of the temple, everything like that. But I firmly believe Ron Wyatt did find the Ark of the Covenant. It's still in Jerusalem, and they haven't moved it. And I believe his story about the blood of Christ, it's right under where Christ was crucified. And the Bible says when he was crucified, the rocks ripped open. His blood ran down onto the mercy seat. It certainly fits the symbolism all through the Bible. And you can go to my video number 7. In fact, I can call that up, I think. Let's see. Take me a minute to find all that. But yeah, I cover that on seminar part 7. You get the whole series for $50. 18 hours on this. Just DVD number 7. There's 2 DVDs crammed full of stuff. questions and answers. Okay, Ark of the Covenant. Let me see. Is that here? Here? Oh, here we go. Can you put that back up, brother? I'll scoot over. What about the Ark of the Covenant? In Jeremiah, it talks about when the enemy came and, oh, yeah, move that back over, brother. Okay. When the enemy came, they stole all this. Jeremiah told them, look, you guys are wicked. God's going to judge you. And they didn't listen. And sure enough, God got judged. They got conquered. And it tells everything they hauled off to Babylon: the spoons, the candlesticks, the bowls, the basins. It doesn't mention the Ark of the Covenant. That's the most important piece of furniture. See, they brought all this, and later they brought the stuff back in the book of Ezra, and it tells what they brought back: 29 knives, 1,000 charges of silver. They named all the silverware, but didn't name the Ark of the Covenant. Here's why. In the book of Chronicles, we see Uzziah had made great slings to cast stones. He surrounded Jerusalem. I'm going to wipe that city out. But he made these massive catapults to fling stones in and break the city down. So Nebuchadnezzar wanted, the Jews had these catapults also to fling stones. So Nebuchadnezzar built a wall outside the range of the catapults. So what good's that do? Well, you close the city in. What good's that do? Eventually they run out of food. Siege warfare. Yeah. So when they finally ran out, God said, I'm going to punish them, the king of Babylon. So apparently Jeremiah knew what was going on. He'd been prophesying, look, guys, we should surrender. We're going to lose. Surrender and lose. They didn't surrender and they lost, and a bunch of people died. They didn't listen to the prophet. Jeremiah, read the book of Jeremiah. So I think Jeremiah is probably the one that took the temple furniture out and hid it in a cave on the northwest side of Jerusalem. There's a place up here on the northwest side of Jerusalem called the Place of the Skull, where they stoned Stephen. Ron Wyatt said he was walking by there with his Jewish friend, and he said, I think we said his left arm. Anyway, his arm involuntarily pointed to the side of this cliff, and he started talking. And he said it was an angel talking to him. I don't know. I can't verify that. He said, the voice said, that's Jeremiah's grotto. The Ark of the Covenant is in there. So Ron said he spent the next long time digging in there and went through a little. He said you had to breathe out to squeeze through some of the holes to get in. You couldn't go through with a lung full of air. And there, straight under where Christ was crucified, was the Ark of the Covenant. He said he was afraid to touch it at first because he realized the last guy, Uzzah, that touched it, remember, God killed him. He did not to be authorized. Then he said, oh, wait a minute, I'm blood-bought Christian. It's probably different now in the New Testament. King Solomon, looking before the ark, there's nothing in the ark but 2 tables of stone. Ron said he actually opened it, and there were the 10 commandments still in there, but the table of showbread was gone, and the Moses' walking stick was gone. They used to be in there. You can go see Ron Wyatt. He died a couple of years ago, but WyattMuseum.com. So I do believe the story is true. I knew Ron pretty well. We differed on some theological things, but he knows better now. He's in heaven. And the Lord said, Ron, come here. Kent was right. Oh, okay. Yes, Lord. But I'm humble about it. You know about my new book, The World's 3 Most Humble People, and how I trained the other 2. Yeah. It's almost ready to come out. Okay, hope that helps. Other questions? What's the difference between sanctification and justification? Sanctified means set apart for a special job, okay? I could say this pen is sanctified. I'm only going to use it to sign legal documents. It's a normal pen, but I've now set it apart for a special job. God has set us apart as his children to do some jobs for him. Justified means just as if I'd never sinned. God doesn't look at you and say, you're forgiven and you're going to heaven, but I still remember all that stuff you did. No, it's gone. It's just as if I'd never sinned. It's amazing. Yeah, I hope very different. Okay. A couple more real quick. You still believe pterodactyls are seen in remote places, if any still? I believe probably so. Okay. How can you prove the non-existence of anything? Like one guy said, we don't find certain fossils with other fossils. I said, have you dug everywhere in the world? Have you dug 50 feet under where you're sitting? You don't know that they don't, just because you haven't found them yet, doesn't mean they don't exist. Silly logic, okay? Last one. What happens to our pets when they die? They rot, bury them, they stink. Oh, do they have a spirit? I can't answer that. We come back on white horses. So do pets go to heaven? Can you imagine my wife's pug in heaven for? No comment. I really like the dog, but you can have it if you want it, okay? All right. Any more? Any from here? Thank you for so much for joining us. My throat's about gone. I've been talking too much. They're gonna when they find my jawbone, they're gonna think I was a woman because it's gonna be worn out more right there. So, what are you laughing at, yo? You know what's the truth. Come on now. That's why God made Adam first. He didn't want any advice on how to do it. So, all right. See you tomorrow for another proof the earth is not billions of years old. Atheist, I suggest you do not tune in to this one. It's going to make you cry. I'm taking away your little pacifier about time. Yeah. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye.